Have you ever seen an NBA team so cursed on draft day that it feels like a cruel joke? Let's talk about the Portland Trail Blazers, the franchise that passed on Michael Jordan and Kevin Durant. In 2025, they fell to the 11th pick, defying lottery odds for the third time in 4 years. And when they do get talent, it crumbles. Injuries derailed Brandon Roy, Greg Oden, and even Jeff Petri, Portland's first ever pick. Now, their starting lineup scores just 80.5 points per 100 possessions, dead last in the league. Is this just bad luck or something deeper? Stick around as we dive into the darkest what-ifs in NBA history. Subscribe if you believe curses are real. What is it with the Portland Trail Blazers and injured centers? It feels like a cruel joke that's gone on for decades. Bill Walton, a generational talent, led the Blazers to their only championship in 1977, winning both NBA Finals MVP and League MVP the following year. But that success was short-lived. A broken navicular bone in his foot ended any hope of a dynasty. He never played more than 65 games in a season for the Portland Trail Blazers. Then there was Sam Bowie, picked second overall in the 1984 draft, ahead of Michael Jordan. Imagine being the guy chosen before the greatest player ever, only to spend most of your career battling leg fractures. Is that fair? How many players can even recover from that kind of pressure? And don't forget Greg Oden. Drafted first overall in 2007, he was supposed to be the next big thing. Instead, he missed his entire rookie season with microfracture surgery and only played 82 games over 5 years. Have you ever seen a team so cursed at one position? Is this just a coincidence or something deeper? Brandon Roy was everything Blazers fans could have asked for. Drafted in 2006, he quickly became Portland's franchise cornerstone, winning Rookie of the Year and making 3 All-Star teams. By his third season, he was being compared to the likes of Kobe Bryant and Dwayne Wade. But there was one problem: no cartilage in his knees. Bone grinding on bone eventually caught up with him. Remember that 18-point fourth quarter he dropped against the Dallas Mavericks in the 2011 playoffs? That was magic. Even with bad knees, he still had the heart to put a city on his back. But how long can someone play like that? Can grit and guts replace cartilage? Doctors said his condition would only worsen. And it did. Roy retired in 2011 at just 27 years old, far too early for a player of his caliber. What could have been if he had healthy knees? Could the Blazers have finally built a true contender? Do you think Roy's story is one of the saddest in NBA history? If there's an NBA team cursed on draft night, it's the Blazers. Sure, they've had some hits. Clyde Drexler in 1983 and Damian Lillard in 2012. But the misses? Brutal. The biggest, passing on Michael Jordan in 1984 for Sam Bowie. Then in 2007, they skipped Kevin Durant to take Greg Oden. More recently, they fell to 11th in the 2025 draft lottery, underperforming their lottery odds 3 of the past 4 years. Talk about bad bounces. And even when they land talent, injuries or regression seem to follow. Martell Webster, drafted 6th overall in 2005, had one decent season before a foot injury derailed everything. Then there was Sebastian Telfair, picked in 2004 with huge hype. He never averaged more than 10 points per game. Are the Blazers just unlucky, or is something deeper going on? Have you ever seen a team miss so many draft picks? How do fans keep hope alive after so many letdowns? If you like this, subscribe and hit the bell for what's coming next. Let's talk about the Blazers' center curse. This isn't just bad luck, it's a full-blown saga. After Walton, Bowie, and Oden, you'd think they'd be more cautious. Even Shawn Kemp, a proven star, flamed out in Portland, averaging just 6.3 points in his stint while battling personal issues and rehab stints. Now, in 2025, the Blazers are trying again with Donovan Clingan, but early signs are rough. According to Cleaning the Glass, a lineup featuring Clingan, Simons, Sharp, Kamara, and Grant scores just 80.5 points per 100 possessions, the worst in the NBA among lineups with 100-plus possessions. Want to know the average? 114.2. Can this franchise ever develop a durable elite center? Or are they doomed to keep reliving the same script? You might not know Jeff Petri, but his story is yet another example of the Blazers' misfortune. Drafted in 1970, he was Portland's first ever draft pick and immediately became their face of the franchise. Over 6 seasons, he averaged 21.8 points and 4.8 assists per game, which are all-star level numbers, but his knees had other plans. Multiple surgeries cut his career short before he could hit his true prime. Sound familiar? It's almost like a blueprint of what would happen to Brandon Roy decades later. Imagine if Petri had stayed healthy. Could he have extended the team's early success into the late 70s after Walton's injury? Could the Blazers have formed a longer-lasting core? Petri's name is rarely brought up today, yet his story fits right into the Portland playbook. Brilliant talent, crushed by injury. Why does this pattern keep repeating? Is it just bad fortune, or is Portland cursed by more than just weather? Have you ever heard of a franchise haunted by its history as much as the Blazers? Let's switch gears. From injuries to gut-wrenching playoff heartbreaks, the Blazers have come so close, only to fall apart brutally. Start with 1990. Led by Clyde Drexler, they reached the NBA Finals, only to get battered by the Detroit Pistons in 5 games. Then came 1992, another shot, this time against Michael Jordan's Bulls. The Blazers hung in for 6 games, but MJ was too much. Drexler was elite, but Jordan, he was on another level. Still, the worst collapse came in 2000. Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers. Portland led by 16 points in the 4th quarter, then completely unraveled. They were outscored 31-13 in the final stretch. Remember the iconic Bryant to Shaq alley-oop? That dagger was aimed right at Rip City's heart. Can you think how different NBA history would be if the Blazers had closed that game? Would the Lakers dynasty ever have started? Is this the most painful loss in franchise history? How many teams have been this close only to see everything slip away? In the early 2000s, the Blazers were known more for off-court issues than basketball, the dreaded Jail Blazers era. But they cleaned house, drafted right, and found Brandon Roy. That should have been the turnaround. Instead, injuries turned hope into heartbreak again. Now, in 2025, it's like a broken record. The Blazers' young core, Anthony Simons, Shaedon Sharpe, and Toumani Camara, show flashes but lack consistency. Their lineups can't score, they don't draw fouls, and their lottery luck, non-existent. Even when they try to rebuild, fate steps in. And remember this, Rudy Fernandez, once hailed as a steal, flamed out fast. Martell Webster, Sebastian Telfair, more high picks that didn't pan out. Even when talent is there, it doesn't develop, or it just walks away. Why is Portland always one step behind? After decades of heartbreak, draft busts, injuries, and shattered dreams, the Portland Trail Blazers remain basketball's greatest what-if. From Walton to Roy, Bowie to Odin, this franchise lives on the edge of greatness and grief. Is it bad luck, poor choices, or something deeper? Maybe a curse. One thing's for sure, the pain is real and the questions never end. Subscribe and comment below if you believe Rip City still has hope.